Good morning, my dear friends. I hope you all are doing good. I am Prashant Mahwani and I warmly welcome all of you to StudyIQ. Dear friends, at present 50%, up to 50% off is available on our pen drive and tablet courses. Find out more on StudyIQ.com. With this, identify the person that you can see on your screen. The last picture challenge was of former president of Maldives. His name is Mohammad Nasheed. With this, dear friends, a small update. Let's start with an update regarding our Prime Minister Narendra Modi. We have talked about it yesterday that our Prime Minister is basically, yesterday when we were discussing at present, he has reached this place called Jordan. Right, Jordan is a small country nearby Palestine. We know that in this 4 days from tomorrow, he is going to visit these three places. The first leg is Palestine, second one is UAE, and the third one is Oman. This countries belong to West Asian part, right? And here Mr. Modi will meet King of Jordan. They will have a sort of discussion, a very brief discussion, and then he will visit tomorrow morning. Modi ji is going to be here in Ramallah, that is Palestine's administrative head, and they will have a delegation talk. Means the president of Ramallah as well, or president of Palestine and Prime Minister Modi, they will have a delegation talk with each other, and it is expected that many MOUs will be signed during this visit of PM to Palestine. With this, we will keep ourselves posted. So that's everything that I've got with PMO. But a very important item here is coming from Niti Aayog. Now, for the first time in our country, we are witnessing this thing, and this is about Healthy States Progressive India Report. This report is prepared and launched by Niti Aayog. Very important information here. Please keep this thing in mind for your MCQ, right? Don't forget that Niti Aayog is the body that prepares this Healthy States Progressive India Report. And as per this report, we have three our largest states. One is Kerala, Punjab, and Tamil Nadu. These are the three states they have topped this list. But here you have a category of larger states. What it is all about, of course, as we move ahead in the next slide, you'll come to know about these larger states and other things. Now let's go through other items that we find in this Healthy States and Progressive India Report, or this health report launched by Niti Aayog. It talks about this top three, you can say, states good in, or they have topped basically because of their incremental performance. Now, what incremental performance is all about? Small steps that you take every year, right? You keep on upgrading and updating yourself. This is basically called your annual incremental performance. So you have Jharkhand, you have Jammu and Kashmir, and Uttar Pradesh. These are the three states they have topped this annual incremental performance. The other thing is common challenges that you find all across the board, right, in different states, or you can say that in our country. As per Niti Aayog, the first is vacancies in key staff. You know, a couple of days ago we were talking about this president of our country. He said basically during a function that every year on an average we are producing just 1 lakh doctors, and what is our population? 1.3 billion. So definitely it's not enough at all. We need to produce more doctors every year. At the same time, we have to produce more key staffs as well. As per WHO and other health related organizations, they say that one doctor should be supported by at least 4, you can say, key staff. You may have nurses and compounders and other people. So we need this good balance here. And 1.3 billion, and on the other hand you have 1 lakh doctors every year. So you can easily say there is a huge mismatch in demand and supply. So this is a thing that we find. And it's not only pertaining to doctors, as now you can understand. It's also about key staff too, right? So this is a thing that is required. Then you have this cardiac care units. We are lacking this thing as well. And quality accreditation in public health facilities. So these are the three things that you find all across the board, and we need to get rid of this, of course. Now this report ranks states and union territories innovatively on their year-on-year incremental change in health outcomes, right, as well as their overall performance with respect to each other. They are compared with each other, and how this comparison takes place, because we know that in our country we have larger states, we have smaller states, and we have some big and small union territories. So what Niti Aayog does is basically it has three segments. You have larger states, they are compared with each other, you have smaller states, and then you have union territories. Of course, all of these different categories are compared with their relevant categories, and you have Niti Aayog plus World Bank. World Bank is providing technical assistance, and in consultation with this MOHFW, that is Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, this report is prepared. Keep this thing in mind. Don't forget, you may find this type of questions. Like recently, Niti Aayog prepared a health report, which international organization provided technical assistant to our Niti Aayog. So remember, it is World Bank. They may add to trick you, they will add WHO, World Health Organization, and naturally we may feel that yes, this is the organization. They will give you, for example, World Bank, IMF, and this World Trade Organization, for example, and then you have World Bank here. So naturally most of us will go for WHO, isn't it? Because we think that it is associated with health, but here it is World Bank. So I hope you will never forget this. With this President Secretariat, it is about President addressing this 56th convocation. We have talked about agriculture many a times. So very briefly, IARI, that is Indian Agricultural Research Institute, played a very important role during this green revolution of 70s, and we know that this thing, basically this green revolution changed the way we it basically changed the way we used to do things here in our country. We were a food deficit country, now we are food surplus country, but the need of the hour is food management, right? This is something in which we are lacking. So not everyone has access to good quality of food. We are facing malnourishment and hunger and other things. So we have to get rid of them, and we can if we learn and implement how to manage food and how to distribute it and things like that. Mahatma Gandhi had observed that agriculture is the backbone of Indian economy. Now I have discussed with you guys about the number of people who are associated with agriculture in our country. So naturally, if their condition is not good, right, then the overall economy is going to be weak, isn't it? And because of this thing, you have less tax coming to. I'll just give you one example, right? If your citizens are not able to pay, or if they are falling in, or a large, you can say 50 or a majority of your citizens are not able to pay, or they are exempted from income tax, then naturally the government of your country is going to have less money, isn't it? Less money coming in, and if government is having less money coming in, then less money will be spent. So growth and development, you know the relationship between how they are complementary to each other. So this will be a bit slow, right? We can increase its pace. For that, we have to make sure that we increase the income of farmer. This is a sort of goal of Government of India, of course, and overall development in rural area is also necessary. Challenges that we are facing at present, and these challenges or these problems are in fact getting more and more severe. Land shortage, the rate at which we are converting our agricultural land into non-agriculture one, it is a big challenge. Water resources, right, our water table and natural water and rivers, they are getting polluted and things like that. So we have to ensure that we continuously innovate, right, in a small piece of land, how we can have maximum yield. This should be our focus. With less water, how can we have more crop and things like that. And last item regarding IARI is that President said that IARI should start these innovation centers and help students to launch this startup ventures and things like that. Piyush Goyal has reiterated that National Carrier accord highest priority to safety in train. National Carrier, the reason why it is called National Carrier, because if you go through the numbers, you will find that most of the people in our country, they travel via this Indian trains, and you know the way Things went wrong last year, many accidents, but at present things are a bit good, as Finance Minister, beg your pardon, Railway Minister has provided us with a figure that the train accidents have decreased from 95% to 65% in comparison to previous year. You have one important bit here that is called Rashtriya Rail Sanraksha Kosh, or National Rail Safety Fund, and this one under this Rail Sanraksha Kosh or Safety Fund, Government of India has kept 1 lakh crore rupees for safety related works all across the board in our country. Ministry of Home Affairs talks about this counter terrorism. Rajnath Singh had an interaction with top police officials, and basically he reviewed this counter terrorism strategies that are going on at present. He talked about the security agencies and state police should go through this specialized training programs to fight against terrorism. In 26/11, what we saw, or the outcome was that the thing that we realized is that just in case, God forbid, if we go through any this type of attacks, right, then our police at that point of time was not trained to tackle this type of. They were not trained. They were not knowing how to respond because they were never trained about it regarding it. So now things are changing, and fighting this fake Indian currency notes and curbing terror financing and things like that are becoming priority of the day. As far as terrorism is concerned, Government of India follows zero tolerance strategy. The other thing is that one interesting fact is that nowadays you find terror attacks taking place in urban setup, isn't it? And police, they are the first responder in any terror related cases. So it is very important that they are trained. They are, there are so many different types of training that you can do. So they should have access to all these things. And this is the thing, and we need to learn from neighboring countries. We need to learn from the best practices deployed by other countries around the world, and we have to upgrade our police investigation and professional mannerism and other things if we want to get rid of all these evils that are again becoming more and more severe as days are passing. And this one is about Defense Secretary Sanjay Mitra. He reached Srinagar. From last many days we are seeing this infiltration and other things going on, terror attacks taking place in J&K. So this is just a small update. Like, this is the seriousness, right? This indicates the seriousness of Government of India regarding this particular thing going on in Jammu and Kashmir. With this, dear friends, these are your answers, these are your questions. Don't forget to check StudyIQ.com for pen drive and tablet courses, and I will see you all soon. Enjoy your studies. Jai Hind.